driving a car in a car. Carception. I'm here in Detroit with the refreshed 2025 Ford Explorer, and at first glance, this might seem kind of like your run-of-the-mill refresh. You've got some slight changes to the exterior styling, but the platform and powertrains are remaining pretty much the same. However, once you get inside, you'll see that the changes to the Explorer run much more than skin deep. It debuts a brand new infotainment system for Ford and a redesigned front here that actually solves some of the problems that we had with the old vehicle. Speaking of the old Explorer, it's a legendary nameplate that's recently fallen on some hard times. The 2024 Explorer has an Edmunds rating of 7.7, and that's not that bad, but in this hyper-competitive three-row midsize SUV segment, that's only good enough for 10th place on our leaderboard. Now, what makes the Explorer unique is that rear drive platform. It's one of the very few vehicles in this segment to have one of those, the other ones being the Toyota 4Runner and the Dodge Durango, but those things are dinosaurs. So we've always kind of liked the way that the Explorer drove, but that doesn't mean that we haven't had some problems with it. Now, some of the Explorer's issues probably can't be solved in a refresh. The second and third row comfort is not great. As you can see, it's a pretty tight squeeze back here. And we didn't really like how the hybrid powertrain drove, but Ford says that you can't even buy that as a regular consumer anymore. It's only going to be available on first responder vehicles. So those two problems, we're not even going to touch those for right now, but there are some other issues that the Explorer had that we think this one might have the potential to fix. And those would be interior materials and quality, technology that felt really dated, and a value proposition that fell well behind the competition. The refreshed Explorer really simplifies the SUV's lineup, dropping it down from 7 trim levels to a much more manageable 4. So it's goodbye to the base, XLT, and Timberline trims, and hello to the Active, which will serve as the new base trim. That's followed by the ST line, the model we're looking at here in Detroit today, which gets the looks of the ST, but not all of the performance parts. Topping off the Explorer lineup are the ST, which has the substance to back up that style, and the Platinum, the most luxurious of the bunch that is just magnificent. Powertrains are going to carry over with the 300 horsepower 2.3 liter turbocharged 4-cylinder standard on all of the trims except for the ST, which comes standard with a 400 horsepower 3 liter turbocharged V6. We're here in an ST line. As you can see inside here, things have really changed up front. This whole dashboard is really entirely new, and it's been pushed backwards to make the front feel even roomier. Also new, as you can see, this is a 13.2 inch touchscreen, standard on all trim levels, and much bigger than the 8 or 10 inch screens that you could get in the older Explorer. Up here in front of me, a 12.3 inch digital gauge cluster, and Ford tells us that these two systems are now completely tied together. So there's one module that basically controls both of the screens, and that allows them to sort of take content here from the main screen and put it on the cluster, as we'll show you a little bit later. Those interior materials seem to have gone up a little bit. A lot of the surfaces now are covered in more soft touch things. The old Explorer, it had some sort of high price tag, but it didn't really have interior materials to match. So it's sort of the opposite of a Kia Telluride, where you paid a non-luxury price and got a near luxury grade interior. Here, I would say that it's maybe a touch behind the Telluride still on quality, but the overall look and feel of it has definitely improved. They've also really improved small item storage. So right here underneath the screen, you actually have a really convenient place to put not one, but 2 phones. You also get a wireless charging pad here on this side, and that ties in nicely with the wireless Android Auto and Apple CarPlay integration. Also standard. We're also getting the debut of a brand new infotainment system from Ford, and that's kind of a surprising thing to see on a refresh. You might expect to see that more on a redesigned vehicle, but here we are, and here it is. So this is called the Ford Digital Experience, and like I said before, it is able to sort of tie what you're seeing here to what you're seeing in the instrument cluster. So as you can see, the native Maps application for the infotainment system is going to be Google Maps. You can actually mirror the map view from here into the cluster, including the turn-by-turn directions, so that you can see it more easily when you're driving. We also like using Google Maps as a native Maps application because you can then log in with your account and get all of your places tied in. So if I were to log in with mine, I could do work, home, that would all be here. This system is Android based, so you're also going to get the Google Play Store and apps. So there are apps that are specifically put on the Play Store to work in vehicles. And on top of that, there are a few Ford exclusive apps that you're also going to get as well, like that game that I was playing earlier. All in all, this is a much better experience than what you're getting in the current Ford vehicles. Even like what we have in our long-term Ford Lightning and in our Mach-E with that tall vertical screen, that experience was good, but this one feels even better. They say that the system has a lot more graphics and processing power, so everything seems to run pretty smoothly. And again, with the Play Store, you get access to all these apps and things, and that would include games, music stuff, but also things for your kids. So there's like PBS Kids Video there. When the vehicle is parked, you can actually watch videos on the screen via 5G streaming and a data plan. And there's also a Wi-Fi hotspot that can support up to 10 devices. Now, for us, this is the available apps, always expanding. So soon there will be things like for teleconferencing and meetings and stuff, so you can actually turn the Explorer into a mobile office as well, for better or worse. Now it's time to talk value, one of the Explorer's previous weaknesses. With this refresh, you're getting a lot more standard features than before, including those new screens, heated front seats, a towing package, and adaptive cruise control, a feature that we know SUV shoppers are looking for. Also new for 2025, Ford's hand-free Blue Cruise assisted driving system will be available on the Explorer for the first time on the ST line and up. Now this is going to be Blue Cruise 1.2, which isn't the latest version of the system, but it will still do automatic lane changes and reposition the Explorer automatically away from vehicles in adjacent lanes. With the elimination of the old base trim, the entry price for the Explorer has gone up by about $3,000. But if we go like for like by trim level across the model years, that gain is only about $1,000, and with all of that added equipment, you're getting much more for your money with this refreshed Explorer than you did before. Here are the prices for the Explorer's other trim levels, and thanks to some packages being made standard, the ST is now the most expensive model, swapping spots with the Platinum, since the Platinum gets the base engine standard now instead of the V6. That means the Platinum now starts at a lower price than the Kia Telluride's top trim level, and even though the Platinum standard engine has 2 fewer cylinders, it actually makes more horsepower and torque than the V6 in the Kia as well. If you're watching this video, then ordering for the 2025 Ford Explorer has already opened, and Ford says that deliveries of this vehicle will begin in the second quarter of 2024. Thanks for watching, and I'm gonna go try to beat that level now. No. Oh, this map view here, powered by
Buddy's
Google.
Pizza may not be open yet when you arrive.
Jesus.